Well, I had one other topic for today I thought it'd be fun to touch on, and it is the SSI review. Now, Dennis, you're probably like, Stetson, what is SSI? What the heck are you talking about? It's some abbreviation. Apparently, I think so this is the smartphone for Snapdragon insiders. And I think when Qualcomm sent this phone out, they realized pretty quickly, as they should, it had a terrible name, okay? Smartphone for Snapdragon insiders. Who's going to remember that? So I think in the pamphlet, they said they were going to call it the SSI. This is a guess. The only reason I say this is I saw PC Mag, Sasha was referring to it as the SSI, and Engadget was also referring to it as the SSI. And these came out separately, so either writers are smart or Qualcomm was like, hey, it's the SSI phone. Either way, reviews are out, and it's not a hit. There's some big problems with this. Dennis, what are your what are your most important features in a smartphone? This is just a general, like, what are your most important features? If you had to pick 3, let's just say.
Software support, performance, and connectivity. Support.
Wow, so like no camera preferences, no battery life preferences. Like you're all about
camera. Camera, I don't necessarily like. Camera just needs to be good enough.
Wow.
And battery can be not stellar as long as there's good fast charging, because I'm generally around a charger or I have like battery packs.
All right,
stuff,
well,
so.
I respect that. This actually might be a good phone for you, Dennis. So we'll start with the cool stuff then, because you kind of brought it up. If you're into performance, right, Dennis, what do you want to do? Like, wouldn't it be cool to overclock your phone, max out performance, and say, to heck with heat, I want to be able to burn my hand off with this thing?
Yeah, no.
Well, you can do that on the SSI, the smartphone for Snapdragon insiders. It's actually really neat what they've done. There's toggles in the settings where you can set the performance for CPU and GPU, literally max it out, and the phone will get hot. I think Sasha reported in his article it was around 120 degrees. I think it was Fahrenheit, whereas OnePlus 9 maxed out, I think, at like the S21 was like 115, and then OnePlus was like maybe 109. I could be, God bless you, I could be off with those numbers, but the order was there. The Snapdragon SSI number 1, then S21, and then OnePlus 9. What was interesting is you did actually get some like better performance, but like the performance is in benchmarks, right? Like, It's not real world performance. It's you're getting slightly more frames in this one particular benchmark, right?
So I just want to say real quick, overclocking Android phones is nothing new. That's been happening for like a long time with rooted phones.
Got it.
And there's a really good reason why you don't overclock a phone, because it doesn't have the cooling.
It doesn't have the cooling. It literally burns your hand. Yeah. Sasha was like, yeah, this is too hot to touch. So that was cool. And that's about where the coolness stops, honestly. From the phone, it has great LTE and 5G support. And I will actually add another point. You can turn on standalone 5G mode. You can turn on or off 5G and 4G. And you can even turn off carrier aggregation on LTE if you really want to test things out. But the cons, there's no field test mode. So you like basically us enthusiasts who test out the network, like we can't use it for that. And that's the number one reason. Dual physical SIM is awesome and great for international, and the band support is awesome, but we're not really traveling right now, and odds are your phone will get the job done, and it's not worth $1,500 to get that.
I don't know
feature.
what you're talking about, Stetson. I'm clearly chilling in my nice beach house.
Dennis traveling between Pennsylvania and his beach house all the time. And the big letdown actually was the camera, Dennis. Camera and battery. So when you max out the performance, battery life obviously goes down the gutter. You expect that, and that's a fine choice to make. Like, you can have max performance and low battery life, or you can have great battery life and medium to low performance, and that's totally fine. But the camera, they put decent Sony IMX sensors on this, but it was just a potato quality. It was missing focus. It was grainy. The processing wasn't there. And they had
So that sounds like a software issue, though. Like, that could probably be fixed pretty easily with like an update.
Yeah, so that's the thing, though. Like, you can't buy a phone based on future promises. You have to buy it for what it is today. And today,
no, I understand that. I'm just saying, like, that problem.
Hopefully, hopefully that gets fixed. They also had an interesting video tracking feature where it would track a subject, and a I'll put this in quotes, cool feature of it is it would zoom in on the subject, on the face. The problem is it made you nauseous and there was literally no stabilization, so it looked like even though you were just standing there like you were on a roller coaster or something, like, or you were standing on like a jackhammer on concrete, like so
well, Stetson, real quick, I actually want to pull back a second from some of the things you were saying on the topic of poor photography. This is like a known issue across Android, right? Like, I mean, we know Samsung does it good, but you have to like saturated colors, and Pixel is arguably the best at taking still shots, right?
Yeah.
But don't you ever wonder the question of why does Google basically lock the best features of Android behind the Pixel? Why don't they share Pixel Lens?
I don't think it's locked. I think it's...
Yes, it is. You cannot have Pixel Lens on other Android phones. It's only Pixel.
Oh, you mean the Google Camera app?
Yeah, the Google Lens specifically.
No, I think Lens is like the smart features will recognize.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, so I think you're talking about like the Google Camera. You have to sideload it on other devices.
Yeah.
I think the obvious reason is it's using Google software it's their post-processing algorithm that makes it so great. And
right, which is why I'm saying they should allow that to be used on
other but that's like the unique feature of Pixel. That's why the camera is so good. They can't just like give that away. Dennis, that's like giving away the secret sauce to your like family recipe for chicken wings or whatever.
Yeah, but here's the thing though. Google first and foremost is a software company and a services company.
Yeah.
They're not a hardware company. Like
not yet. Pixel 6, my friend, we will see.
But I'm saying like it'd be more beneficial if they gave it out to other people to use as well, because you could still make the Pixel unique in its own way without doing that. Like, if you want to be a
what's the biggest feature of Pixel right now?
It's the camera, but you can still share the software and still have a leaps and bounds better camera.
I don't think so. I think Samsung is crushing it because they're over 12 megapixels now, and it still looks great. So I don't know. I disagree with that. Would it be awesome? Yes. I think Google needs it as their only competitive advantage right now.
Well, they could have brought back the unlimited cloud drive. Remember when Google was giving unlimited drive for photos?
They could do that. They would probably lose more money than they would gain, though.
I'm just saying there's other ways to be unique without gimping your ecosystem.
Sure. All right, one more topic for today. This is a surprise topic. Well, to round out the SSI phone, camera performance needs software updates. It doesn't have field test mode for smartphone enthusiasts, which is kind of a bummer. And performance was fast but hot, and it's expensive. Like, you shouldn't buy it. That's kind of a letdown. I'm canceling my pre-order for sure because like it'd be way better for me to get more Galaxy S21s for network testing. Oh, final thoughts here. It's a smartphone for Snapdragon insiders, promoting the best of Qualcomm. Would you agree, Dennis?
Sure.
So what will be the first phone to get Qualcomm's newest processor, the 895? Samsung with the Galaxy S22 in January 2022. What is Qualcomm doing? They're dumping out last year's specs in this phone. I don't know. Something seems backwards to me. Don't you agree?
Well, I mean, Samsung has that big contract that they signed.
Yeah,
right?
well, can't Qualcomm make a contract with themselves? Like, they're designing the chip and working with Asus. Do you think they could work something out?
I am 1,000,000% sure there is some clause in that contract that Samsung paid for that says that can't happen, because if what you're saying is true, then what would have stopped LG from usurping Samsung, right?
Well, LG got out of the phone business.
I'm just saying, like, I'm saying an LG company. Like,
sure, or another company.
Right. And then also, another thing that I want to say is I'm 1,000% positive that all of the new Snapdragons that are being made right now are probably being eaten up for the release of the S22, considering the fact that this kind of stuff is bought years in advance.
Sure. Yeah, you're probably right. But S22 is going to be awesome. Dude, it's going to have the 895 and it's going to have the X65 modem. Like, it will be the top creme de la creme smartphone when it comes out. That's going to be the phone to buy for network enthusiasts.
My expectations are not that high.
Well, yeah, because you were disappointed with the direction Samsung's going in. Hang on.
They managed to botch the S21. Yeah, they managed to botch the S21 and they killed off the Note for the foldable phones.
I think S21 is great, but yeah. Anyway, that's
only the S21 Ultra is good.
I guess that's a fair compromise. I do like it though. I'm excited, but yeah, the Qualcomm smartphone for Snapdragon insiders, swing and a miss.